Here we go again. Another healthcare hack attack. This time on health provider care. First Blue Cross Blue Shield. Over a million records stolen. Personal information, birthdays, email addresses. To cybersecurity expert Paul Viollis on why hackers are after our records and what they're planning to do. What amazed me about this one is that it happened in June of last year. June of last year. Right. We're just finding out.
You know what's interesting, though, Neil? You had soundbited this when we were last talking over the Sony hack.
Right.
And you had actually predicted that instead of entertainment, it was going to be healthcare that got hit next, and you're absolutely correct.
But why? And why? And then the company comes out and says, don't worry, no financial data was compromised and all. So I guess I'm supposed to breathe a sigh of relief because it wasn't like the Blue Cross one, it wasn't like the Anthem one, but they still hacked, right?
Well, at the end of the day, in answer to your question, why? Because it's a superb business model. Right now, these hackers have just added to, they're generating over $500 billion a year in revenue from cybercrime, number one. So number two is because it's the path of least resistance. We know that healthcare information is the least protected out of any vertical market. And on top of that, the hackers can sell this information and broker it for 5 times, Neil, 5 times the going rate for identity theft information on the black market.
Let me ask it now. I misstated the company's name. A question here. Care First is the company name. My apologies on that. But it's the same deal. Right. And I'm wondering why increasing in the healthcare arena. Well, what do you get for that? And where do they sell that data? Or where do they make their money off of that data?
Okay, so the best way to look at that is, where do we see really is the point of origin? And if you look at the demographic and the pedigree of typical hackers, this more or less looks like it's non-state Chinese actors because they go after the bulk. The second part of the fact is the resale value. Resale value on this, Neil, is significant. It really is, because there's so many different things they can do with it. One, if they really wanted to maximize their revenue stream, they'll sell it to ISIS or Al-Shabaab or Al-Qaeda, because if they really want to disrupt the American public, they go into Neil Cavuto's medical information and change your blood type. So now, God forbid, you have to go to the hospital. Oh, right. See, they're not telling you that. That's the problem. That's the thing that we need to be concerned about. In addition to that, it opens up everybody. Take celebrities. Take anybody that's in the public eye. If they pick that information, and let's say someone has a medical condition, whatever it may be, okay, whatever it may be, and now they're knocking on your door and they say, hey, do you want the world to know that you have this or this or this? Because now they know.
So now they can ransom that.
That's it, of course. And extortion is a huge business. So as we look at the business model and the return on investment, it costs them next to nothing to hack in. They still really don't know where it happened. And the worst part about this, Neil, as I see it, is that we're not even really going to address this, because typically healthcare boards of directors for hospitals do not approve a sophisticated cybersecurity assessment and protocols that look for more the baseline information security approach. Hence, if I'm not going to protect it and I can make a bunch of money out of stealing it, then why not steal it?
Well, this is why a lot of them feel it's someone else is going to get hit, right?
Right. But now that point, though, Neil, again, and I'll come back to last December, you were right on point. Right now, though, in the last 5 years, 1/3 of the American population has had their healthcare information hacked.
Is that right?
That is absolutely correct.
Yikes. Well, it must be a sign of the times, because your career is booming now. Now you're going to have your own show.
That's absolutely right. But I have to thank you publicly for that, because if it were not for the opportunities of working with you, that wouldn't have come up. The Security Brief with Paul Viollis is going to be airing June 29th. We start shooting. It's going to be in cable channels. It's about protecting America's women and their families.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. We knew you when. Now you won't return our phone calls.
That'll never happen.
Well, thank you very, very much.
Always a pleasure.